Hey everyone, Grayson the Bard here, and welcome back for day 113 of the hunt today, and I have three things to apologize for today. I want to thank, first off, Perfect Brom in the comment of yesterday's video, pointing out that I forgot to do the Will It Return in Wilds and a Future Monster Hunter ranking for Glavenus. And in the process of realizing that I forgot to do that ranking for Glavenus, I also realized I forgot to update the cart counter in yesterday's video. We should be at 29 carts for me after yesterday, after I carted to Glavenus. I don't know if I was just in more of a rush yesterday than I normally am, or if I'm just a champion dumbass. But either way, I apologize. I screwed up that video editing. Today will be different. And then the second thing I need to apologize for is that I need to apologize to Acidic Glavenus. I was not aware of what it brought to the table. I was initially planning on doing this video like early February, but I want to do, because of my big screw up yesterday, I'm going to do the Wilds ranking for both Acidic and regular Glavenus in this video. And I don't know if it was doing it back to back or what, but I absolutely loved Acidic Glavenus when I fought it today. I didn't fight it much in my early time with Monster Hunter World. And I always kind of thought it wasn't as fun or wasn't as good as regular Glavenus, but in terms of fight, I already loved Glavenus's fight for a lot of reasons I mentioned yesterday, it being very physical, it having a big sword tail, and Acidic Glavenus definitely supplanted it in terms of like fight that I enjoy more. I really, really like Acidic Glavenus's fight, and that's what I'm going to talk about the most today. The big thing I want to bring up is how it uses its tail is so pointedly different than how regular Glavenus uses it. So regular Glavenus uses its tail like a greatsword. It uses it like a bludgeon. It focuses on very big, heavy, crushing, powerful attacks, big, wide sweeps that like stretch along the entire area. And Acidic Glavenus has a little bit of that, but the way that it kind of clicked for me in my brain is that he uses his tail more like a rapier than he does a greatsword. I think, like, a moment that I was, like, my jaw opened, and I was, because I completely forgot about this set of moves, and I absolutely love it, that he uses today in this hunt, is there's a couple moments in the fight where he will stop moving, and just, like, curl his tail back, and, like, pose it up to strike at you like a saber, and hold for a couple seconds, and then do a few jabs with it, before going in for like a big final finishing thrust technique. And I would love to know how the AI for that is coordinated, because I felt like it was waiting until right after I did an attack to go in for a thrust, like it was doing a counterattack almost. Like it was a fencer waiting for an opening to get in and do some damage. And that was so cool, and I absolutely love that. I play a lot of D&D, tabletop role-playing games, just like RPGs, JRPGs in general, and whenever I can't play a bard, my go-to, bard or druid. Bard and druid are my, like, two main kind of classes that I go for in games. But when I can't play either of those, I love, like, the quick finesse weaponry attackers, like with, rapiers, daggers, stuff like that. And Acidic Glavenus really, really scratches that itch and felt like that kind of archetype. The only downside that I see to it is it has these much more finessey, faster hitting attacks, but its tail is a little bit thinner. It's not as big and chonky as regular Glavenus's is, but the rest of his body is just as bulky and just as powerfully built, which kind of takes away from it a little bit. It sometimes looks a little silly to see it doing these quick live stabs rather than like big powerful like chops. I think Acidic Glavenus would be absolutely perfect if it were smaller. And I'm not necessarily saying like the size of a Monster Hunter Raptor, but like the size of like a Rathian or a Rathalos, like a little bit lower to the ground, a little bit thinner, a little bit lighter. I think that would really, really push Acidic Glavenus over the edge for me, because I still think in terms of aesthetics and look, because of how bulky it is, kind of contradicting the finesse movements, I think Acidic Glavenus, I still like the aesthetics a little bit more. Regular Glavenus, I like the aesthetics a little bit more. Acidic Glavenus, I like the fight a lot better. Oh my god, I love this fight. I am sorry I slept on this thing. But yeah, it's such a cool monster. I really enjoyed fighting it today. I honestly might just like go back and fight this thing for fun in the future again. I missed out by not like farming the hell out of this. I was very much turned off by its weapons because it has the same problem that Glavenus does in World, where it takes the awesome weapon designs from Generations and turns them into slap-on parts on a stick. I was so sad. And unfortunately, Acidic Glavenus did not fix that. Oh, but anyway, let's get to the part that I forgot to do yesterday, the return ranking for Acidic Glavenus and regular Glavenus. I'm going to do Glavenus first. I think it has a higher chance than the other Fated 4 that we talked about because it was not in Monster Hunter Wilds, and it could be a returning monster, or not in Monster Hunter Rise. And it could come into Wilds as another like familiar returning face for the people who primarily came in from Monster Hunter World. That being said, because it was just in World, it still has a kind of lower chance of coming back in Wilds. I'm going to put Acidic Glavenus kind of at the upper middle end, at around a 6 to show back up in Monster Hunter Wilds. And Acidic Glavenus, I'm going to put a little bit lower than that. I'm going to say a 4 to 5. 5 if regular Glavenus comes back, 4 if regular Glavenus does not come back. Then in terms of coming back in a future game, I would give Glavenus a 10 out of 10. It is a flagship. They are all very likely to come back at some point. And because Acidic Glavenus is such a like cool, unique take on it and a really fun subspecies, I would say like an 8 or 9 out of 10 to come back in a future game for Acidic Glavenus. And that is where I am going to wrap up the ramble for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I apologize again about yesterday. I always try to not let my quality in these lapse, but you know, sometimes mistakes happen when you're doing a video every single day. So thank you all for your understanding. Please stick around until the end of the fight if you can. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. Don't if you don't. I try not to be like a YouTuber who like begs for subscribers, but I think it would be really fun if we got to 600 before Wilds came out. And so if you want to help out with that, please do. If you don't, you're good. I appreciate you anyway. And until next time, I'll see you next time.